Now in a special edition of The Good Stuff.
I just say try. Try. Because you're doing it for you. None of us are going to be in the Louvre.
The power of art from amateur sketchers and professional muralists.
My purpose being an artist is not for me, it's for other people.
To a local author who refused to throw away his shop.
I actually sent him an email with the unabashedly cringy subject line, "Who tells your story?"
To a young Lego architect seeing his dream come true.
It's really fun to make it your own and pick out all the stories from it and kind of figure out what it means to you.
We're highlighting some of the good our local artists have shared with the world over the past year.
From KGW, this is The Good Stuff.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich. We begin our special with a global community helping anyone express themselves with a pencil and sketch pad. Laurel Porter caught up with the urban sketchers as they drew the Portland they see, one line at a time. On a crisp, bright fall Saturday morning, Director Park awakens. The plaza showcasing the spirit of Portland. For Amy Stewart,
a great day for sketching.
It's all picture perfect. A chance to capture the contours of the city she calls home.
The trees, the people, the cars going by, just sort of the energy of the city. It's sort of a little record of where we are and what we did.
And soon,
Hi.
she's not alone.
Hi, are you here for Urban?
Yes, we are. Yeah, we're the Urban Sketchers group, so we're going to be drawing here.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
One by one, they arrive,
Yeah, I'm one of the urban sketchers. I've been here.
filling the park for the monthly sketching gathering.
All right, cool.
This is our last trip. We went to OMSI.
Is it time? Should we?
Drawing the Nordstrom's building, the fountain, and got some people in the foreground, trying to get an interesting angle.
A global community.
The really great thing about it being an international group is that you can find urban sketchers anywhere.
It's in Poland. Yeah, I have some sketches from there.
Started in Seattle in 2007 by journalist and illustrator Gabriel Campanario.
Yeah.
A Portland chapter became part of the picture.
Yeah, it's fun.
A few years later,
For me, it's urban sketching is kind of a lot of things.
Rita Sobler was one of the first.
There were 50 of us, and there were artists from all over the world, and I felt instantly like I met my tribe.
Now boasting 500 chapters in 70 countries.
Yeah.
Bringing together everyday people.
I'm a tax auditor and I do tax hearings.
Okay.
So this is my chance to do creative things.
Transforming a city park
Oh, wow.
into an open-air studio.
Everybody's welcome. You don't have to sign up, you just show up.
Turning sketchers
Since I work in education, I noticed the ball said the teacher's fountain. I felt like that was a good choice for me.
into storytellers.
I thought, what is the essence of this place? It's these balls, these round balls.
Each one painting their perspective on Portland one moment in time.
It's lovely. And it's not a hellhole. And definitely not a war zone. Look at all these lovely people here.
Yeah, totally.
With Portland grabbing national headlines
I know.
as a city on fire,
Portland is dreamy. It's just such a fantastic city to be in, so it's so absurd.
Yeah, I like the connection with other people and see what everybody else produces.
the sketchers see a different narrative.
This is definitely not a hellscape. It's not on fire. It's really peaceful.
It's a dynamic city.
Yes.
On this day,
I enjoy just seeing people get dressed up.
Portlanders pass by, headed for a protest.
So we have a unicorn and a hippo.
Some in the now famous inflatable costumes.
And they're heading, I assume, to where they protest.
They become part of the city's energy. Rita pencils in on her sketch pad.
The result is less important. What's more important is that you're here and you're absorbing what's happening.
That's the goal and the only rule, to draw what you see, not from memory.
Being a beginner is I know that I'm not going to make it look like a photograph.
With all skill levels welcome.
I just say try. Try. Because you're doing it for you. None of us are going to be in the Louvre.
including photojournalist Kurt Austin and me.
That's you guys.
Maybe we're not in the Louvre, but we did end up etched in some sketch pads.
Kurt is centered focused.
I started with you because you're the central figure. Yeah.
After 2 hours of detailing,
Yeah.
doodling,
That is amazing.
blending,
Yeah, really good.
and brushing,
Oh, this is our throwdown.
it's time
Yeah.
for the Throwdown, where the sketchers share and celebrate each other's work.
Are you kidding me? That's fantastic.
They're amazing. Yeah, they're amazing. I really enjoy them.
They look great. They always look great. It's really fun to see what people put out at the end of the 2 hours. It's amazing what you can create.
Beautiful.
As the artists pack up their pencils and paints,
Whoever wants to go march,
life in
I
Portland
think it's time.
marches on.
Do you have your stamp?
But this moment, this version of the city remains
Beautiful.
frozen in time.
The drawing is just a souvenir of the time you spent out here.
A story worth preserving in a sketch pad.
This is just like the souvenir of just being here and observing. Yeah.
So cool. Urban Sketchers announce the location of their gatherings each month on the group's Facebook page, Urban Sketchers Portland, and on their webpage. Well, if you've been to the Moda Center recently, you may have seen the work of these next artists. They took some blank slates in front of the arena and filled them with color, representing different ethnic backgrounds. Devin Haskins shows us.
Outside Moda Center, bright colors bloom across the bare walls. Artists tracing their heritage with each stroke of a brush or hiss of a spray can.
This is my actual first one on a wall.
Layers of colors represent their culture.
As a Plains Indian, roses represent resilience, growth, beauty, strength.
Malcolm Weaselboy is a member of the Chippewa Cree tribe. Raised in Montana, he moved to Portland when he was 10 years old.
I remember when this was the Rose Garden, I used to come here and watch monster trucks, watch Blazers game, watch the Portland Fire.
The Portland Trailblazers asked him and 6 other artists to interpret what roses mean to their roots.
You can cut a rose down, but a couple months later and come back twice as strong.
Malcolm jumped at the chance.
It means so much being able to and just right in front of the Moda Center it's a huge blessing, and I'm grateful to be part of it.
The art project painted on what the organization calls the Wiggle Wall.
It is the Wiggle Wall, yeah. It's a little wiggle wall.
Is called Roots to Roses.
Roots to Roses really came to life to celebrate Portland's rich diversity and resilience within its communities, highlighting the historical ties and roots and cultural blossoms just like roses.
Just feet away from Malcolm, Christian Tejas uses spray paint.
I believe the Latin American culture, Mexican in specific, we are color.
Bright colors representing his Hispanic culture.
So it's showcasing a bunch of roses made a part of different colors as everybody are.
He, like Malcolm, was excited to share his story.
So when I have the chance to put my artwork in a place that there's a lot of people going to see it, I feel the need to kind of present something that make me proud.
And for Malcolm, he says it's helping him feel more confident.
And I've always been kind of self-conscious about my art, so this is my opportunity to put myself out there and become more of an artist.
Love those vibrant colors. Next, the Portland State professor who penned a biography on one of the most famous playwrights of a generation. Stay with us. Welcome back to this special edition of The Good Stuff. A Portland State professor recently released his first book focusing on one of Broadway's biggest stars and playwrights. Our Devin Haskins sat down with the person behind the first authorized biography of Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Daniel Pollock-Pelsner is a visiting scholar of English at Portland State University, teaching various classes on Shakespeare and the theater arts.
I'm a teacher, and I really believe in, what we call as educators a growth mindset. Not I'm good at this, I'm bad at this, but I can learn how to do this.
He took that mindset and did something he'd never done before. Wrote his first biography. It's also the first authorized biography of Lin-Manuel Miranda.
He's exactly the person that you think he is if you've seen him on stage or heard him on late night.
Lin-Manuel Miranda is an actor, singer, director, and a playwright, most well known for writing Tony Award-winning Broadway hits like In the Heights and Hamilton. Pollock-Pelsner covered Miranda multiple times during his Broadway tours and movies.
I actually sent him an email with the unabashedly cringy subject line, "Who tells your story?" and pitched him a book about how he learned to be an artist by focusing on his teachers, from his parents through his elementary school bus driver all the way to Andrew Lloyd Webber, and he said yes.
That email was sent in 2021, and over the course of the next several years, he learned from Miranda himself and more than 150 others close to him, and pulls back the curtain on what shaped Miranda's life.
He had an appetite for just soaking up lessons from everybody around him. His friends, his teachers call him a sponge. And he was able to synthesize all of these different influences, from Latin music to hip hop to Broadway to pop and rock music, into telling America's stories in a new way.
Publishers wanted a 300-page book. His first draft was double that.
I was so excited to put everything I knew into this book, and then I had to cut out half of it.
After several drafts and rewrites, the book Lin-Manuel Miranda, The Education of an Artist, was released in early September.
It's a coming-of-age story about a guy who keeps coming of age and who keeps learning from his projects.
At Portland State University, Devin Haskins, KGW News.
So important to keep learning. Still to come, the mural making what can be a stressful place more serene. Stay with us. Our next story takes us inside Clackamas County's new courthouse. It might not be a place where you expect to find calming artwork, but as Grant McComey shows us, the walls capture the peace of Oregon's outdoors.
Creekside time in early fall slows down as the tiny things come into view.
I love the way the water changes the color of the rocks.
A time when an artist sees what most of us miss.
Above the water, they're a whole different thing than below the water, and I love that.
Sherry Erickson fell in love with the Oregon outdoors as a kid. Her skill at capturing the details is surpassed only by her passion for the place.
When I paint, I become hyper aware of light and noises. You can hear the water move the rocks, kind of a weird sort of rhythm, and you can hear the rocks under the water. After a while, you get tuned into that kind of thing.
Erickson calls herself a natural illustrator who lets landscapes breathe life into her work. She has traveled the region for work with wildlife agencies, and her favorite waterfowl, right there, harlequin ducks.
They migrate up and down streams, then everybody will go to sea, and they'll be at sea for a while. It's a really interesting life cycle that they have.
Inside a cozy studio in Forest Grove, Oregon, she boasts a 4-decade-long career as a professional artist, whose passion was born from childhood backpacking and fishing trips with her dad. Recently, Erickson won recognition on a gigantic, a stupendous, absolutely monumental scale. Here, the new Clackamas County Courthouse, a 6-story, 240,000 square foot centerpiece for the county's government campus in Oregon City.
I mean, you can't miss it. It's like in-your-face mural. And the rest of the building's very modern and very quiet. It kind of plays off each other, I think. And so having this organic mural in there, I think it looks great together.
2 murals, each measures 9 feet tall and nearly 40 feet long. Her idea was to show off the county's natural world in a competition she entered and won last spring. Her work was born of a simple idea: the outdoors can heal.
Helps people relax and get away from their everyday cares, so it doesn't trigger anybody with PTSD or anything like that, which is important in a space like this.
More impressive, the murals are a blend of her art and new technology that took her tiny paintings and created gigantic digital murals.
It's my actual painting that I took a photograph of. We blew it way up, and then I repainted everything digitally by hand, just like regular, no paint, just digital though. It looks like paint.
Her massive digital files, numbered in the hundreds of gigabytes each, were sent to Solberg Industries in Utah.
Typically we print colors, we print office graphics, we print logos, but this was the first time that we did in fact print artist's artwork to be installed as an art installation.
The murals were created as scores of acoustic panels made from recycled plastics that provide incredible, colorful, accurate details.
I was ecstatic to be able to see what we were able to do with her work, and specifically to see the quality of her work made me excited. Every panel was exciting to me.
Back at the courthouse, the remarkable monumental murals capture the Clackamas County mountains and watersheds, the wildlife and the plants.
My purpose being an artist is not for me, it's for other people. So when I put my art out there, when I hear people say, oh, that reminds me of a place I've been, or it makes me relaxed or whatever, then I've done what I'm supposed to do.
And aren't we lucky that's so? In Oregon City with photographer Jeff Kastner, Grant McComey, KGW.
Just beautiful. Still to come, a local Lego aficionado gets a chance to design his own set. The inspiration behind this more than 3,000-piece build. That's next. Our last story may not feature a traditional artist, but his accomplishment is no less impressive. A young Portland man with a love of Legos was able to turn his original design into reality. Now it's on store shelves. Once again, here's Devin Haskins.
20-year-old Alex Solly.
So this is part of my Lego collection.
Has a love for Legos.
I have all kinds of things. I mean, I've been collecting for a number of years.
From small.
This is probably my favorite right here, the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
To big.
This is the Titanic.
He's built them all.
This is the Saturn V rocket that took people to the moon in 1969.
His first set was his mom's.
You know, that was always a special set for me, and that's what got me hooked.
And as the years went by, he moved on from building sets.
This is my log cabin.
To designing his own.
So this was my original idea, and then all of the expanded stuff I added.
Using a Lego program online, he says he's built 40 or 50 of them, submitting 6 of them for review.
This is my original model that I submitted.
In 2022, he created a Lego village, modeled after homes in the Italian Riviera.
So my inspiration for this was a trip I was about to take, and I was all excited, and I was doing a bunch of research.
He submitted his idea to Lego.
It's always been a dream.
And after receiving the necessary 10,000 votes from other creators,
I thought this was a cool idea, but I was worried they wouldn't approve it.
Lego designers not only approved it, they helped him perfect it.
Here we go. So this is the Italian Riviera. It is almost 3,300 pieces.
3,251 to be exact. In August, after 3 years of work, it was officially for sale. He says it was a surreal experience putting it together for the first time.
A little bit, yeah.
Some ideas they added.
There's the crab. That's a fun one, too.
Others, his own little surprises.
So there's a mini figure right here of me with my camera, because I'm always taking pictures.
The Grant High School grad is now a junior at Cal Poly and studying computer science, who can proudly say his design made it to store shelves.
It's really fun to make it your own and pick out all the stories from it and kind of figure out what it means to you.
So cool. By the way, the Lego store at Washington Square Mall says they had a hard time keeping it in stock when it first came out, since it was created by someone local. Well, that's all the time we have for this special edition of The Good Stuff. Thank you so much for being here with us. I'm Christine Pitawanich. If you haven't yet, check out our KGW streaming app. It's kgw-plus, and there you can watch episodes of The Good Stuff whenever you'd like. It's free and available now to download on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.